Peace and riches blessings. I am Michael B. Beckwith, the host of Take Back Your Mind. Blessings, everyone, and welcome to Take Back Your Mind, Life Question of the Week podcast. I'm your host, Michael B. Beckwith, and it's always my joy to reach into the spiritual grab bag and see what question has emerged for me today. And today, from C.J.B, he asked this question. On my spiritual journey, I feel most connected, relaxed, grounded, and able to understand and receive information from God when I have had cannabis sativa. However, I feel conflicted because I don't know if this is wrong. I have a hard time managing my emotions and my nervous system, and everything just seems so intense. Every story on the news makes me sad, and I'm constantly overwhelmed by everything. Well, I know the power of God. I just can't seem to find rest until I've had cannabis. What are your thoughts on this? First of all, it's not wrong now that it's legal and people are using it as a kind of a medication. It's not wrong in terms of the legal sense. However, it does have some debilitating effects on the brain. THC, when individuals do brain scans, it absolutely inhibits the brain from operating at its optimal capacity. So it's not wrong. So what you're describing here is called an addiction. If the only time you feel relaxed and all the things that you've mentioned going on in the world, the stories on the news that makes you sad, overwhelmed by everything, then basically you have an addiction to a substance that makes you relaxed. It's not any different than the pharmaceutical substances that people give people when they're feeling anxious or nervous. They'll give them certain drugs in order for them to cope with the day. None of those things are wrong, but all of it has side effects. And so you want to give yourself permission to basically travel to meditation as opposed to medication. It's going to be a journey, of course, in which you have to break the addictive habit, and it won't feel good. Whenever you are addicted to anything and you stop doing it, there's a detoxification process that takes place, whether it's alcohol, whether it's a legal pharmaceutical drug, whether it's cannabis sativas. Whenever you stop doing such a thing, and I'm not telling you to stop. You have to go within and get your own guidance from the presence of God, but you're asking me a question. Whenever you start to break free from your addiction, there's some debilitating side effects that take place. You feel worse, you get depressed, things of that particular nature. The THC stays in your fat cells for a while. Even if you stop smoking, you get anxious, it gets activated again. And so my thoughts on this are, you're asking me because something within you knows that you have a power within you that you can turn to. If you become still enough on a regular basis, you will find that rest. You'll find that sense of peace that has nothing to do with the world. You're not going to stop. When Jesus said the poor will be with us always, he wasn't talking about the poverty of money. He was talking about the poverty of the soul, emotional poverty, mental poverty. There's always going to be people out here. There's things out here. People hate each other, and people are dropping bombs on kids, and people are shooting, and people are stealing and breaking into people's homes. The poor is here. But you get to live in another world. And you get to be a field of love and generosity and peace and harmony and wholeness. You're not going to become that field smoking weed. nothing wrong with it. It's not illegal. The voice of God is speaking to you right now. You have to develop the capacity to listen. Close your eyes and listen. Develop a meditation practice. Listen. And one day you'll hear your intuition talk to you without an exogenous substance. Exogenous, something outside of you. And then maybe you'll only smoke marijuana occasionally. Beyond the addiction. Now, I speak of an individual that when I was younger, I smoked weed. I smoked weed in college. I think I smoked so much weed, in my next lifetime, I'll never have glaucoma. But do I smoke it now? No. When I woke up, everything fell off. The occasional alcohol, the cannabis sativas, just fell off of me. And my clarity is so profound. I want that for you. So just be aware that you have an addiction. Just be aware of it. There's nothing, I'm not judging it. I'm just saying, just be aware that it's an addiction. And be aware that the presence of God is closer to you than your personality, closer than your breathing. If you develop just a modicum of spiritual practice, of meditation, you can break free and you can hear the voice of the presence of God moving through your intuition and direct insight. And I have no judgment about you smoking weed. I think it's better to be legal than to be illegal, because I don't like seeing all these people in jail because of Mother Nature's plant that gets people high. I think it's stupid, and I think that all those people that went to jail for marijuana should be let out. That's my personal opinion. If it wasn't a violent crime, they didn't rob somebody, hurt somebody, it's a nonviolent crime. So I'm all about the fact that it's legal. I'm happy about that. It's also not necessary. In some extreme cases, just like with pharmaceutical drugs, in some extreme cases, you want to have a little gap between you and the anxiety so a person can take something. I'm not going to mention the names of the drugs, or a little weed here and there. But not the rest of your life. Okay? No. Have a spiritual practice. It may sound judgmental, but it's really not. I've done all that. I've done all the weed. I've done it. Had the best. I hope I'm giving you something that you can lean into. Have a beautiful day. Hey, thank you for joining me today. If you'd like to ask a question, please email me at podcast@michaelbeckwith.com. And you know what? Your question just might be featured. Have a beautiful and bright day.